This is Reality, Revelation, Restoration. I'm Chris Gray. Today, I think I'll start off, like I said, all my videos usually, excuse me. I came out on the kayak today. I got a new phone because the other one was time to start new. The other one was kept getting filled up, and it had no space left in it. So this is, I think I'll start. I was gonna just say that um, you want to be spontaneous in life a lot. You don't want to pre-plan your life unless you have to. You don't want to pre-plan your conversations about what's going to happen when you meet him or her. This is a lot of phony baloney here. Real doesn't need to prepare. It's already prepared. It's already real. So it doesn't need any preparation. It needs courage. The vanity, you have to get a hold of your vanity because it's weak. And most people just don't get it because you don't need to prepare your speeches. This is a feminine trait. A man doesn't need to prepare. He needs to be honest and transparent and take it as it comes. Because this way you haven't built up. You don't want to build yourself up. This is about shrinking. This show is about shrinking the problem maker. Not feeding it. It's an animal. You see, these videos are about separating the human from the animal. And what you have to do is, like I say, I'm always going to say the same thing because my message is consistent, because this is how it has to be done. The wolves in sheep's clothing aren't going to be able to help you find your strength, your inner strength, God-given, innocent, honest little guy that God created. See, what we have to do when we meditate correctly is what's going to happen is your being and your conscience, your original hardware that you came here with, is got to be slowly untangled from what got added, what's been added to it since your little baby was born here. So what you have to learn to do is, in your meditation, you have to see the truth. And the truth is very liberating. The truth shows you that when you sit still, I don't want to tell you everything, but I have to keep this interesting. And like I just, before I go any further, I just want to say this is a new phone, so I don't know how things are gonna come out here. But I'm just gonna do this video and see what happens. But let's see. So what we have to do is, when we meditate and we sit still, all that's in there now, and with your eyes are closed, and you're looking at the middle of your forehead. I mean, I shouldn't have to do this, but I have to do this. No one, and I know that this is not a popular. This is the way I present it, isn't popular because I lost a few subscribers along the way, but maybe they'll come back. But what you have to do is you're going to untangle. Well, what you'll see. Let me not get too carried away here. What you're going to see, what I see, is that I realized through my meditation, by sitting still, that everything that you think, your imagination and your intellect, it's all illusion. No one else can see it but you. And then you express what you see. In the feelings, your energy rises and the feelings flow into your mind, and then you present this. Now, doing your spiritual detective work, your forensic study on your identity, is you're going to see that the thoughts are illusion, actually. It's just like clouds. They come and go. They're like smoke signals, like the Indians used to send smoke signals. They're signals. They're symbols. And they have directives in there. Now, there's images of the past, and you imagine imaginary conversations, and you picture how things might be in the future, or you live, or you go back and your memory, and you look at what happened in your past. And this is all illusion now. It's not real. So now we realize that we have consciousness. Now, consciousness doesn't have any substance to it either, really. And if you look at the body, if you look at your body, right? You look at the body, take the body, right? You got, you take your neck. It doesn't know anything, right? Your hand doesn't know anything. So it doesn't have any, it doesn't have anything other than what it doesn't do anything other than what it's programmed in the motor, the reflexes and how it all functions. Other than that, it doesn't. See, what you're doing is it's like you're subtracting everything and finding out what is real, so you can move on in your life and get rid of stuff that's weighing you down and killing you, and making you sick. So, when you realize that, you also realize that there's a light in there, illuminates all of it. Something has to see it. So, in the world, they tell us it's the Holy Spirit, or they tell us it's the conscience. It's a word. That's a word, right? But that is not. You can't label it. They have to label it because you wouldn't understand. But you need to get the labels off of things and see them for what they really are. And so what you realize is you're a spirit. Now, a real spirit that was in the Bible, in Genesis, God said that he created us in his own image. And he said man was created in our image. So if you look at that, right, that means Christ has always been with God. So this is, in God, is God and Christ are one and the same. Christ is the Word made flesh. So, see, I don't need to read out of I don't need to to do it like the wolves in sheep clothing do. The priests in the, some priests are legit, like I say, and some men of God are definitely legit. But there's a lot of people out there that just they have the wolves in sheep's clothing. They have the appearance of good, but if you read your Bible, you'll see that Jesus said, "No one is good, not one." So what Jesus meant by this is that what he meant is that the appearance, these people are proud and they want something. They want approval and affirmation and acceptance. And they want something from you. But they shouldn't want anything, because a man of God he's already complete. You need your food, I mean, you get your common sense here, but you don't need to go search outside of yourself to become complete. So I just, to make a long story short, is you have to do this yourself, because you're not going to get, they can't heal you, because these people cannot heal you because they're not healed. Well, I don't know if that's exactly the way I want to put it. They can't see. The trouble is, these people they come from the system. They're part of the problem. They mean well. They mean well. They're well-meaning people, but the appearance of good has no appearance. Now go back to the Garden of Eden. God said he made us in his image. What's God's image? God doesn't have an image. God is reality. I'm trying to make this simple for you so you can get on with your life and stop climbing the Himalayan mountains looking what these people do. They go to a monastery and they look for a God in the monastery. But in the end, it all comes down, what it boils down to is you got to sit still and face what was added to you after, from the wolves in sheep's clothing. Now, any man of God is not going to come from the system. It's not going to be polished and wear a fancy suit. And I mean, you can, but the wilderness is where men of God come from. In the Bible, the prophets all came from the wilderness. John the Baptist came from the wilderness. Jesus came from the wilderness. They're natural. They come from nature. And they were rejected. John the Baptist was a reject. So wasn't Jesus. They're rejected because they're too real. But I'm rejected, but I don't really care. I don't need approval. I don't need someone to tell me, yes, Chris, you're right. Some people do. I don't look for love from the world, because it doesn't have it. I have it. You have it. But you're ruining it when you add things from your environment, or people force things on you and get in under your skin. and cause you an uprising. And it just throws everything. So you can't see. You can't see. You can't. You're looking. All you can see is with your eyes, and through the instinct of the animal, the sensual. And this adds to the illusion, and then you got the imaginary conversations again, in the scenarios, and this is all self-feeding now. This all just repeats itself over. It's resentment, is what it is. So, I like to keep things light if I can. Like, you see, I'll show you in a few minutes, right? There's the waters over there. I really do want to go in that water right here, so you can see that you can do this stuff, right? But I'm gonna have to wear my shorts, just so you can see that I can go out in 32-degree water and swim around for a couple of minutes and not have a panic attack, you know? And because I'm real. Now, let's see, where do I want to go with this? All right, so if you look in the scene, well, let's go back to the Garden of Eden again, because this is where the scene of the crime. See, I watch Forensic Files because I like how they walk back at the crime scene and find out how it got that way, how this person was murdered and what led up to it, right? You notice, before I go any further with that though, you notice, like when I watch Forensic Files and you watch these people in the culture, right, the cop, the police, and the so-called authorities, right, they always, this is wrong, that's wrong, this person did this. They blame and accuse each other and antagonize each other and stir up a bunch of, but they never look at it. They never really say, like, how did this person get this way? How could this happen to mommy's little baby that was innocent? How could this happen? They don't want to go there. They just want to add something to you all the time. Like the doctors, they don't want to find out what's really caused all your problems, the root cause. They don't have time for that, and they don't even want to see it in themselves. They don't want to self-observate. So they'll give you a pill, and then another pill, and another pill, and then you become more ill. They just don't, they don't want to see why the world is the way it really is, because they have to look within and they have to see why they do the things they do. And Jesus said in the Bible, he said, let your eyes be a lamp unto your body. So you see, I know this is my right hand, this is my left hand. I know I'm standing in a beautiful place next to a river. I know my right arm is extended like this. I know what I ate this morning. I know what my thoughts are. You should have thoughts. There's nothing wrong. See, it's a play on words. Do you have thoughts, or do thoughts have you? You see, you're caught up in it. You're caught into this. It's not your fault. This is considered normal. And it's normal to go to the doctor and get pills. No, it isn't. It's not normal. It's because everyone is sick. That's why. Everyone is sick and they're too scared to tell you the truth, because you won't like them. Like no one likes my videos. but some people watch them. I actually don't know I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. But I'm still going to put these out because it helps me, because I get to unload this stuff anyways, because I write it down, and they're insights. And what you need to see is where do these insights come from? And all this good stuff, this that doesn't, it's not of the world. It's not. It's it corrects you. It puts things in the right order. Like when God made the universe, when the solar system, when the galaxies are first, everything's chaos. And in the solar system, everything was chaos. Asteroids, everything smashing into everything, right? But in the middle of all this chaos is the sun. And the sun, in its warmth, in its gravity, the sun. You have a sun in your head. What it does is it took all these planets. Tell me there isn't a God, really? So it takes all these planets and all these asteroids, and it all starts to slowly sort itself out. In the heavenly bodies, they swirl around each other, and the chaos slowly subsides. And now you have order. This is what happens. If I just put in line all the letters of the alphabet, there's nothing. It's just nothing there. There's no order to it. There's no structure, that good structure. So it means nothing. And I sometimes wonder what is the meaning of all this. But what I come down with is that I'm here to bear witness. Apart from my Creator, and He's given me a choice. I can either come back, I can stay in His grace and have peace, or I can rebel and go the other way into chaos and instability and disorder. And the only thing that can happen there is you're going to get sick. You're going to go insane is what's going to happen. I can't mince words. Vanity is insanity. It's insane. The ego is insane. I wrote a script today because I don't want this to go on and on and on and on. Because I could just go on for 2 hours straight, probably. But you really have to learn from yourself, from that light that's in there. By sitting still, it dissolves all the camouflage that the spirit, the invisible dark spirit, the ego hides behind. And when you do this, you're incinerating its camouflage with the light. And the ego's not going to like this. And it's not going to feel good. So you're going to have to learn how to stand your ground. You're going to have to learn that you're not, to feel good, you've got to learn how to weather stress. It's stress. It wants to move you in the wrong direction. It wants you to reach for something. It wants to give you a feeling. And it's not going to be comfortable anymore because you're going to it's not going to be able to sit in there and get big and fat in your head and fill up all your inner space. When you burn the light, when the light burns on it, it has to keep moving. It has to find, it's going to look for a new hiding place. Like in the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden has all the ingredients. It's a crime scene. Has all the ingredients of why humanity went down, why we kill each other and murder and all this stuff. It says when God came into the garden after they ate the fruit, after they ate the forbidden fruit, wasn't really forbidden, because if it was forbidden, they wouldn't have been able to eat it in the first place. They ate the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. What happened was, you know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. Eve ate the fruit because she wasn't, because let's face it now, folks, women ain't happy. They want to be the boss. So, when they ate the fruit, God came back into the garden, and they were naked and afraid. That's what the ego is. The ego is it's the Eve, the curse, passed down through the generations from generations, because Adam was a coward and weak, and he wanted the approval of Eve in sex. See, these are the messages you got to see. You will see this. You'll see the same things I'm talking about. But the ego was naked and afraid because you know why? Because they were naked and afraid. Remember now, the ego is the product of Adam and Eve. So what they were afraid of was Eve. We all know the ladies are judgmental. Men too, because men are born of women. But they judged God. Eve judged God. And then here comes the snake. The serpent comes in and with a forked tongue and tells her that she can have it. She can be the boss. But the only way she's going to be able to be the boss is through treachery. Deception, tricks, lies, vanity. See, vanity drives people insane because it is proud. And what it tries to make you do is it thinks it can rise above reality by arising. It can rise above God. The only thing that's going to happen is your head's going to explode with all this garbage and anger and anxiety. That's what's going to happen. Now I'm going to pull the script out because we're up to 26 minutes. I don't know how much storage space, inner space this thing has, so I'll just get this out. It's not in any order as usual. It's just, it is what it is. So I'm just going to read this, all right? So here goes. All right. The worldly indoctrinators of dysfunction, degradation, and despair have no idea how to heal the mind and restore the sanity to the minds that they destroy. You see, the system, when it breaks your mind and they cause you to fall into despair and depression and anxiety, they have no idea how to fix it. They don't know how. They can break it, but they don't know how to fix it. You need a perfect guidance system. Only comes from within to heal you from within. Their pills and their sermons aren't going to do it. It's not going to do it. You have to do this yourself. You have to love yourself enough to sit still and calm down and realize that God will fight your battles for you against evil. That's all. The unobserved, we're up to 30 minutes now. I don't know how long this will go, but I'll try to run this out quick because my other phone died out after like 35 minutes. The unobserved mind and ego left unchecked will fill up your entire living space within your mind with pain because pain is all it knows. It will steal all your energy and depth as a human being and replace it with misery and shallow vanity. You see, it only knows pain, lies, suffering, illusion, and when you start to get better, this is evil. And what it will do is it will make a problem. You'll all of a sudden out of nowhere, your knee's gonna hurt. Now see, this thing's tied in with your energy, so it can, this is what you have to deal with when you deal with evil spirits. They can lodge them, before it was in your head, you see, causing pain in your head. Once you drive it out of there, it's going to need a new place to go. Your heart. Your heart's sick now, or your leg hurts. But if you just stay calm, this can last for a while because it's going to see if you'll crack and reach for something. If your knee hurts, right, or your elbow or your shoulder, put your hand on it. You know, if it's evil, right, you'll know. Is there any pain when you touch it? Can you hit it? Doesn't really, but you feel that pain. That's it. It's lodged and it's found a new lodging area. It could be anywhere. This is what evil does. Okay, on to the next thing. Your supporting cast says a lot about you. What is your supporting cast of characters? Look around you, right? Now, like I say, this is not serious because, like I say, I'm not a serious guy. I fuel jets for a living. I go out there with 22-year-old guys, mostly 30 years old. That's about it. I go out there, I fuel jets. Nothing's a given. Every day, it's new. You have to learn how to problem solve on the spot. Always something. There's weather conditions. It's freezing cold, rain, snow. See, so I know how to operate under conditions that aren't fun. So, your supporting cast says a lot about you. What's your supporting cast? Pills? Booze? Are you sex? What have you added to yourself? Look at your friends. Are your friends? Are they taking you? Are they making you degenerate? A derelict? You know? Are they making you sick? Are they, you know, because misery loves company? Are your friends making you sick? You know, you can overeat. Look at your supporting cast. You know, look at what you put in your mouth. Remember now what Jesus said. Your eyes should be a lamp to your body, so you know what you put. Now look at this another way, right? Look at your dog. You got a dog? You got a child, right? Look at what you feed your dog. Oh, you pamper your dog, you pamper your kid, right? If you're half sane, you know, you make sure that your dog eats good food, you make sure that your child eats good food, but yet what do you put in your mouth? If you wouldn't give it to your dog, if you wouldn't, somebody sees me, I mean, I can't do this out in the open, you know, I mean, somebody will be like, what's that guy doing over there? I don't know, maybe I can, I don't know, maybe they'll arrest me, like they do, you know, but if you wouldn't feed it to your dog, why would you eat it? Doesn't make any sense because it's insane. Insanity does not make sense. I think you get what I'm saying? All right, so getting ahead. Getting ahead. This is a big one, right? Everyone's trying to get ahead, right? I drive into traffic to Boston, you know. I'm on Route 1 and I see this one darts out in front of me. This one is trying to get ahead of that one. And then they get ahead of me. I let them go. You know, I see them. They're jockeying for position, you know. And I let them get ahead of me. And I'm like, looking, I'm like, what now? You know, you're not going anywhere. You know, you just go wherever you're going, you know. Um, so you have to look at that, right? And you say to yourself, what's he trying to get ahead of? Better yet, who? You see, who? He's trying, what they're trying to do is they're trying to raise up the animal. You know, oh, that person cut me up. Now, the rising, all hell breaks loose. You know, next thing you know, I watch these guys are all cutting each other off and racing and, you know, driving to in danger. And, you know, not that, look, I'm not a goody two-shoes, you know. I mean, I like to have a little fun too, you know. You know, it's, you know, I drive fast sometimes. I do stuff just for the fun of it. But some people do this with, it's the motive that is no good, you know, and it's all about themselves and they don't care about anybody else. They're all living in their own egotistical realm of illusion, you know. And so they really just, what they're doing is, it's who. It's not, the who is no good. It's the ego. Okay. Now, I said this already. A real spirit need not prepare. How would it go about preparing? How can you prepare to just be yourself? You can't. How would it go about preparing? Be brave. Don't puff up. Okay, now I'm going to turn this over. We're up to 37 minutes now. This is a long video. The ego has no real life. All it can ever do is try to fashion one out of pain, suffering, and misery. I already said this. It is hard to see that evil spirits are all around us if they own us. You see, when you get better and this stuff starts to leave you, it's going to be around you now, wanting to get back in. This is what you have to deal with here, folks, if you don't want to go insane and take their pills and drink their booze and go into disillusion, the land of disillusionment. So you have to learn how to hold your ground. You have to learn how to persevere, patiently endure the temptations. Then you'll get your reward for being a good boy or a good girl. I said this already. I'll just go over quick. Our inner light incinerates all the ego's camouflage till it's out in the open, naked and afraid. It doesn't feel good being watched, so it looks for a new hiding place. This is when it is sure to raise hell, because this is what it's going to do, because this is your energy now. We can learn to hold our ground until the surge or impulses to satisfy its silly fears and needs pass, or we can be out to lunch, like the rest of the legions of humanity that try to sedate the creature into submission. You really want to sedate your energy because you don't have the presence of mind. Okay, this is just a little synopsis of some of the stuff that goes on. For thousands of years, perhaps millions, people have looked outside themselves for the cures of what ails them. They try smoking different plants, ingesting assorted pills, injecting morphine, heroin, drinking alcohol, any way they can to kill the pain of disobeying their conscience. Some people will stoop to the lowest levels of self degradation just to feel good. So, okay, you know what that means. How can a coward ever have joy? God would never bless liars, cowards, thieves, and murderers with grace. Does it snow in August? The Bible is a spiritual forensic study of the human mind and its origin. It goes back to the scene of the crime in the Garden of Eden. God created us in His image. People that walk the crooked path believe because they can't walk the straight and narrow path, no one else is capable thereof. They kill each other's bodies, they steal each other's wives, they lie, cheat, and rob each other. They molest children, they beat each other up, they pressure, intimidate, and rob people of their innocence. They indoctrinate the unwary into mind-control cults. They commit treason, they lie to themselves, and allow their minds to be taken over and controlled by con artists. Now, when we self-observate, what we're doing is we're separating what God made from what was added. That's that simple. Now, I'm not going to go on much longer because I don't want to take up too much time. I know hardly anybody. I get like maybe a few views. You know, this is probably the best video on YouTube, but no one wants to watch this, and you know why. Because they have to look at the way, examine their ways. They don't want to do it. So they want the appearance of good. They want to go along to get approval. But they don't, if they only could see the depth of their being, and they wouldn't, if they could actually see the truth, they wouldn't be afraid anymore. You still have to be brave, though, no matter what. You know? Like this coronavirus, it's a big scam. Like when you know the facts, you know it's a scam, because the facts are, the news only tells you what they want you to hear, and they only show you what they want you to see. You need to go elsewhere to get the full picture. Like, I saw a statement on YouTube that Florida has, I don't know, I didn't read it, the whole thing, but I saw like has over 2 million cases of COVID, right? Right. But what it doesn't say is that, oh, and by the way, 98.9% of those people will recover. They didn't tell you that part. 99% of the people that contract COVID recover. And the jury's out. This is anarchy, what you're seeing. It's been a long time coming, because the right ain't right, and it drives the left crazy, because they see the hypocrisy of the right, the appearances of good, and these people, these phony priests, and these phony men of God, just gobbling up people's money. No one knows, and then you find out years down the road they're all a bunch of perverts. So you wonder why the left doesn't like the right. But there's nothing good about the left. There's no righteousness to the left. None. Just a feel-good. It's a feel-good wine and cheese tasting. That's about it. You know, these people they're still human beings too, like everyone else, and they shouldn't be antagonized and you know, but they love lies, they really do. And that's all I'm going to say, because you can discern for yourself what's going on. But the right isn't right enough, because one thing's for certain, love doesn't change to hate. True love doesn't change to hate. It can't. God's love doesn't change to hate. Love, hate is emotion, and it's never was love in the first place. It was the appearance of love. You like me because I like you, but that's a lie, because real love doesn't change to hate just because it doesn't get its own way. And that's all I'm going to say for today. So I just want to thank those of you that do watch my videos, and I hope this helps you. But like I said, you have to do this on your own, in your own time, incrementally. Don't try to force it to happen. Be patient and let this stuff go. And when you do, it will seem like nothing's, you know, for a long time, if you've been, you know, addicted, it'll seem like you're not really getting better. But you'll notice it, you'll have moments of clarity, and you'll see that you are. And you'll see that you're going in the right direction, and you're on the path. And it's a journey. And it's fun, because I love adventure. I love the intrepid. I love that word, intrepid. That's a good word. So with that, I'm going to pretty much make this the end here. I'll just show you up close. If it doesn't cut out on me, I'll show you the river. Forgive me. Like, this is beaver country here. And I got my kayak. And this would be a good spot to go swimming right here. See this? Look at that. Nice, huh? Nice fresh air. The water's, I could go right in that, no problem. Just take a couple deep breaths. It's tempting, but I'm not going to do it, because you should have someone with you, but I don't really care about that, but I don't want to get my clothes all wet. And I got boots on and all that. I'm not prepared to do it. I'd rather have someone standing here so they can film it. Maybe my wife, maybe. That's it for today. God bless you. Thanks for watching.